Hey everybody, it's Tess here. I'm really excited for today's flow. It's called Handless Vynassa, Hands-Free Vynassa, which I'm really excited about because so many times now I've had people ask for different kind of variations and modifications during Vynassa, because whether there's so many reasons, whether you have an injury or down dog is just really uncomfortable for you, or that transition from down dog to standing up can be really tricky for a lot of people for so many reasons. So I'm super duper excited for this flow today because it's going to be great for so many people who have trouble with the traditional transition in a flow. So it's going to start the same way seated. We're going to do the breathing and the kind of warm up, stretching, all that good stuff. And then we're going to rise, do the whole flow standing, and then come back down and lie down for our savasana. So I think it's going to be really great. I hope you enjoy it. And even if you don't necessarily have an injury or anything, I think it's always great to try something new and different if you haven't. So I'm going to ask you to grab whatever props you need. Definitely will be cueing with blocks if you like blocks. I would keep those nearby for sure. And we'll go ahead and get started. Also, it's always nice too, you can put a blanket or a cushion under your sit bones to help you feel more comfortable too. So this is not going to be to music, it's just going to be my voice. So if you have a playlist or whatever that you'd like to put on, now's a good time for that. If you have Apple Music, I have Apple Music, and I have a ton of yoga playlists, so they have kind of like that build up that would match a class. So whatever works for you, go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to get started. I'm so excited to do this. I hope this video finds you well. So I'm going to ask for you to find a seated position. Whether you're in full lotus, half lotus, legs are out front, finding a seat that works for you, something that you can hold, something that's not going to, take your attention. Finding that nice tall back, proud shoulders dropping from the ears. I invite you to close your eyes and take a soft gaze downward. Coming to our breath, bringing attention to our breath. I invite you to set an I am statement for yourself, or a mantra that you're working with. I am strong, I am smart, I am capable. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 5, right out of the mouth. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 5. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 5. Taking 4 rounds at your own pace now. Allowing that breath to build from the base of your spine all the way up to your collarbones. Three more breaths. Clearing your mind. If thoughts come to your mind, just push them out. Bringing that mantra or positive I am statement back to the forefront of your mind. Slowly starting to rotate the right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. Pausing where we may feel tightness, and then moving through it. Inhaling and exhaling. Switching directions. Coming center. Nodding our head, yes. Shaking our head, no. Hands coming to prayer. Deep inhale. Exhale. Hands come up over our head. Taking a moment here. Stretching from the tip of our fingers. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Slowly, with a nice flat back, we're gonna find our way to the earth. Option to take a block out here. Walking our fingers to our legs, sitting up nice and tall. Inhaling and exhaling through this practice, I invite you to really bring your breath to your movement. Inhaling, right palm to the left knee, exhaling, twisting back, looking behind. Squeezing the core, wringing out the core as you would wring out a wet towel. 2 more rounds of breath. Releasing to the opposite side. Left hand meets right knee. Right hand's behind us. Gaze behind the right shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling for 5. Squeezing that core. Releasing, coming center. Just taking a moment, palms to knees. Taking a few seated cat-cows here. Pushing back, belly button to spine. Shoulders open up wide. Chin down. Chest up, chin up. Nice. Inhaling. Exhaling. Coming center. Right hand comes across. Nice stretch here. Other side, left hand across, right hand hooks it. Right hand is going to come behind our back, gently. Left hand to right elbow. Opening that chest. Into the opposite side. Awesome. Now we're going to come to tabletop. However you get there is fine. Also, this might be a good time if you like a blanket or a little extra padding for your knees. Now would be a good time to grab that as well. So, coming into our tabletop, we want to check in on how we're doing. So we have a nice flat back, our shoulders to wrist are aligned, the pads of our fingers are deeply planted into the mat, using the L's of our hands as an anchor. Your feet can be flat on the mat or your toes can curl, whatever feels best to you. Knees are about hip width apart. Nice flat back. From here, taking cat-cows. Inhaling, pushing up, chin, tucks in, gazes to the thighs, exhaling, chin is up, gaze forward, inhaling, rounding the back, gazes to the thighs, belly button to spine. Exhaling, core drops, pelvic bone tilts up, gazes ahead. Inhale, exhale. Taking the time to move, rolling the hips, rolling the shoulders, whatever feels good to you during this cat-cow. Coming back to our tabletop, our big toes are going to come together. Our knees are going to come out wide, and we're going to come to child's pose. This is a good time too if you're not comfortable flat on the ground. You can always take a blanket or a bolster and just lie right on top of it the long way. So pushing back, our weight to our heels, coming to child's pose. Taking nice deep breaths here, inhaling and exhaling. Pushing our weight back to our heels. If we can, connecting our third eye to the earth, or just centering our third eye down. Walking our hands over to the left side of our mat. Nice deep side stretch here. And walking our hands over to the right side. Coming center, back to our tabletop. Now we're just gonna warm up a little bit more, staying in our tabletop, checking in on our alignment. Shoulder to wrist. Knees are about hip width apart, nice flat back. Right hand raises all the way up as much as possible, whether you're here, whatever works for you. Lowering back down. Left hand opens all the way up. Lower back down. Again, on the right hand raises high. Back down. Left hand raises high. One more time for each side. Right hand raises high up, opening the chest. Left hand raises high. Awesome. This time we're gonna start to thread the needle, but we're not gonna go completely through. We're just gonna get everything nice and warm. So, that left hand raises, or right hand raises all the way up, and we're gonna thread the right hand about halfway through. So the shoulder is pointed to the mat, and then back up. Inhaling, exhaling. Squeezing the core. Lowering the right hand, checking in on our alignment, and moving on to the opposite side. Inhaling, exhaling. Back to tabletop. Awesome. From here, big toes come together, knees spread apart, weight comes to our heels, taking child's pose. You can always put a blanket or a bolster the long way for you to rest on, the space between you and the mat. You can always come to child's pose at any part during your practice as well. From here, we're going to come up and we're going to come to a forward fold. So you can get there however it works for you. So I'm going to face you, but you're going to should be facing the top of your mat. So in our forward fold here, you can always take a block for having to have something for your hands to rest on, or they can just go straight to the ground, whatever works for you. In our forward fold, we're thinking about lengthening the torso, core coming to the thighs, and folding from the hips, not the waist. While we're taking nice inhales and exhales here, I do want to mention too, I do invite you to, in a forward fold, I know we all have this perfect vision of it, but you can widen your stance, open up your feet a little bit more to make room for your body, and just give yourself a little bit more room to bend down. Just make sure your feet are pointed straight ahead. Inhaling and exhaling here. From here, we're gonna come to our halfway lift. Now I'm gonna go the way you are so you can see. So we have a little bend in our knees. My hands are to my thighs, flat back, and my gaze is down. Inhaling and exhaling here. From here, inhale, exhale, sliding back to our forward fold. Inhaling all the way up. Legs come together as much as possible. And we're going to take a deep bend in our knees into chair. We want a neutral pelvic bone. So we don't want to be pushing out. We want to be nice and neutral. Nice deep bend in the knees, and our hands can come above our head. Straightening the legs. We're now going to lower back down to our forward fold. Inhaling, exhaling, halfway lift, gaze is down, nice flat back. Inhaling, exhaling, folding back down. Inhaling, rise. Exhaling, coming back to our chair. Legs come together as much as possible. Knees are bent, weight is in our heels. Neutral pelvic bone, neutral tailbone. Hands shoot overhead. legs straighten. Swan diving back down to our forward fold. Halfway lift, nice flat back, gaze is downward. Inhaling, exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, rising all the way up. Taking mountain here. I'm gonna face you. Taking mountain here. In mountain. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment here. So close your eyes or have a soft gaze down at your mat. Open your heart. Hands come out to the other side, working fingers. Tailbone is neutral. Really feel solid. Really root in here. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing back that positive intention, mantra you set for yourself. Inviting the universal good that's all around us into our palms, shooting up to our hearts, right through our throat, and out of our mouths. There's good in all of us, in everyone, all around us. We just gotta activate it. We just have to acknowledge it. Inhaling, exhaling. So from here, we're gonna come to warrior one on the right side, standing. So, my left foot is good to go. It's nice and straight, planted in. My right foot is just gonna kick back, step back, and I'm gonna find myself in warrior one, and I will invite you to grab your props if you need a prop nearby for whatever reason. So, this is a great way to check in on your alignment and really cue in on your alignment because you're not worried about getting up or getting here. You're here, you're good to go. So in warrior one, our feet are gonna be train tracked. So I'm gonna look down real quick and make sure my feet are parallel. Awesome. My back foot, my right foot is gonna be on the knife's edge. It's gonna be turned out a little bit. My hips are square to the short side, the top of my mat. I help square them off by squeezing my glutes and my inner thighs. Bent in the left knee. Hands rise up, dropping the shoulders away from my ears. Inhaling and exhaling here. Making sure my knee and ankle are aligned and not the knee isn't past the ankle. Holding here. From here, I'm going to come back to my mat pose. So I'm just going to pick up, come back, reroot in, taking a moment here. Forward fold. Lengthening that torso, core to thighs, folding from hips, not the waist. Halfway lift, shoulders away from ears, chest away from floor, core to spine. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rising up and coming to chair pose. Legs come together as much as possible. Knees bend. Neutral pelvic bone. When you're comfortable, hands raised. Inhaling and exhaling here. Legs straighten. Forward fold, diving down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Coming back to mountain. Rooting in your feet. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhaling and exhaling. My right leg, my right foot, nice and centered. Right in the mat, glued in. This time my left foot is going to step back. And I'm going to check in on my alignment. So I want those train tracked feet, parallel feet. Back foot, left foot is on the knife's edge. Nice deep bend. And the right knee to ankle are aligned. And please feel free to play around with your positioning. You might not come and land right where you need to be. It's totally normal and natural to adjust. You're not stuck in one pose, like one little place forever. Once you feel good, we're gonna squeeze our glutes and our inner thighs to center our hips or square off our hips. Put the top of the mat, our short side of the mat. Nice deep bend. Hands raised overhead. Dropping the shoulders away from the ear. Inhaling and exhaling here. Holding here. Nice deep bend in the knee. Your hands can come down, and now we're going to come back to our mountain. However you get there is fine. Just so I'm facing you in mountain. Nice deep inhales and exhales here. Rooting those feet back down, making our solid foundation. We're gonna come to our forward fold. halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we come to chair. Oh, honestly, I'm clearly not a videographer. My hands are never in these shots. But raise your hands above your ears. Nice deep bend, neutral pelvic mode. Inhaling and exhaling, holding here. Straightening the legs, diving back down to that forward fold. Coming to our halfway lift, inhaling, exhaling, forward fold. Rising to mountain, inhaling and exhaling here, rooting down. Checking in with that left leg, making sure it's ready. Pulling our weight to it. Right leg steps back, this time coming to warrior two. So, what's the difference here? Now we have heel to arch alignment. So our feet, or our heel, our front heel to our back arch are in one line. Our back leg is still nice and straight. Our front leg still has that nice bend. Our hips are aligned with the long side of our mat. We do that by squeezing those glutes in the inner thighs. Hands come out to a T, stretching from fingertip to fingertip, gaze is ahead, past the left fingers, neutral pelvic bone. I have a tendency here to want to push the hips back. We want to be neutral, nice and long. Nice deep bend, looking ahead. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Slowly, our legs can straighten as we make our way back to mountain at the top of our mat. You can stay looking ahead. I just want to be facing you so you don't just see my side the whole time. Lowering down to our forward fold. Lengthening that torso, core to thighs, holding from the hips, not the waist. Hands coming to blocks or the earth. Halfway lift, shoulders away from ears, chest away from floor, core to spine. Inhale, exhaling to the forward fold. Rising, inhale, exhaling into chair. Nice bend in the knees. Legs come together as much as possible. Hands rise. Straightening the legs, forward fold, diving down. Inhaling, exhaling, halfway lift. Inhaling, forward fold. Exhaling, rising to mountain. Taking a moment here. Bringing that positive intention Back to the front of your mind, calling it to your mind. I am strong, I am courageous. Securing that right leg as our left leg is going to push back to warrior two. Opposite side. So before we move to the top half, focusing in on our legs here, heel to arch alignment. Nice deep bend in the right leg, front leg. Knee and ankle are aligned. Back leg, left leg is nice and straight. Rotating our hips to be aligned with the front of the long side of our mat by squeezing the glutes and the inner thighs. Hands come to a T, stretching from fingertip to fingertip, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Gaze is past the right fingertips. Holding here, bringing back our breath. Straightening the legs and coming to the top of our mat. Awesome. From here, channeling into our mat. Taking a moment here. Rooting those feet down. Planting those feet down. Hands come out. Nice and wide. Wide fingers. Thanking yourself for taking time for yourself today. From here, hands come overhead. Taking a moment here, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Hands come together, palms. Our palms are facing the ceiling. We're going to take a nice bend to the right. Hold here. Sliding over to the left. Hold here. Back to the right. Over to the left. Hands come apart. Coming back to mountain. Inhaling and exhaling here. Diving down to our forward fold. Taking a moment, noticing the difference between your first fold and your fold now. It may feel a little different. It may feel a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from ears, chest away from floor, core to spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale, forward fold. Exhale, rising all the way up. Taking a moment here. Now we're going to start to play with tree pose. So we're really going to root in our left leg, and our right foot is going to be a branch. Our hands and arms are the branches as well. So I like to start by just standing the foot. The toes are still on the mat. Put my hands out to the side, and then I can raise my foot from there, avoiding the knee. You can also take a block or a book or whatever prop you have and kind of use that to fill the space between you and the mat. So whatever works for you, you really just want to avoid the knee. Hands are free to move, however you feel works for you. Totally okay if you fall out. Totally normal. It's all about how you get back in the pose. Slowly coming center, shaking out the feet. Rooting the feet down into the mat. This time putting the weight into the right foot. Left foot raises, so you can just have the toes still on the mat. Bring the heel right above the ankle. You can slide it around. You can use a prop to fill the space. Whatever works for you. You just want to avoid the knee. Whatever works for you. Inhaling and exhaling. Slowly bringing the foot back, shaking everything out. Coming to our forward fold. Taking ragdoll, opposite palm to opposite elbow. Maybe including a little movement side to side. Coming back down to tabletop and coming down to your back. However you get there is fine. Hugging our knees in. So if it's not comfortable for your hands to just kind of rest on your knees, you can always just kind of sandwich them in, and it works the same way. Whatever feels good to you. We're just gonna rock side to side, massaging out our lower back. Inhale, exhale. Knees come together, hands come out to a T, gaze is to the right, knees fall to the left. So if it's uncomfortable for your knees to fall all the way over, or if your shoulders off of the mat, you can always put a prop or a block in between that space or in between the knees. Inhaling and exhaling here for a nice supine twist. Coming center and to the opposite side. Left knees fall to the right and your gaze is to the left. So this may be a good time to incorporate a prop wherever you feel fits. Bringing everything center here. Lying flat. Hands slide above the head. And taking a nice deep stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Inhaling and exhaling here. Hands slide over to the left side of your mat. Feet slide over to the left side of your mat. Inhaling and exhaling here. Sliding over to opposite corners. Inhale, exhale. Coming center, and then I invite you into Savasana. So you can use whatever props you like to just lie down, allowing the feet to flop open, resting the shoulders away from the ears, maybe putting a prop underneath your neck or your knees, whatever feels good to you. Soft gaze or closed eyes. Inhaling and exhaling. Letting my voice bring me back. You are responsible of your own space, your own well-being, your own life. Take care of yourself first, heal your own heart, and cherish your own body, and celebrate your own soul. Love. Make a difference. Use the magnificence you've created by celebrating who you are. Bring it out into the world and make it a better place. It always begins with you. We can't manifest of greater good for the universe if we are still busy making ourselves whole. So take care of yourself, please. The world depends on it. Bringing gentle movement to the toes, to the ankles, to the fingers, to the wrists. Slowly with a soft gaze or closed eyes, coming to a seated position. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 5. Nice deep inhale. Exhale. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you.